And welcome back. If you're new here, just welcome. My name is Rusty, and this is me channel where I talk about my favorite movies, mostly horror, and my favorite music, mostly metal. And welcome to my December update. I did that in the last take too. My December update. This is the music and movies, if any, that I ordered and received in December. And so yeah. As usual, I divide my acquisitions into DVDs, replacements, or upgrades. Not really replacements, but upgrades and new purchases. That's new to my collection that I did not have before. So yeah, we're going to start with music. Now, I got two CDs in December, and that is Bush, The Art of Survival. I was very, very happy for this to come out. And I love it. It's a 10/10. I did a review on it. And the other one that I got is the remastered 3-disc of Metallica's Black. This is my second favorite Metallica album. And so yeah, I got the 3 CD remastered edition of Metallica's Black. I pretty much only listened to the album. The live concert's alright, and all of the weird little demos and stuff, but whatever. You know what I mean? It sounds great. It doesn't sound like they did a whole lot to it, but in any event, I'm glad to have it. So yeah. So we have Metallica's remastered 3-disc collector's edition of Black, and we have Bush's The Art of Survival. Both are 10 out of 10s to me, which is all that matters because it's my collection. Yeah. So let's move on to movies now. We've got the DVDs. This is Charlie Bartlett, one of the rare comedies. Anybody who's been around here for any length of time knows that what comedy I do like is British. I don't really like American comedy movies anyway. I do like the 70s and 80s shows like The Jeffersons and All in the Family and Maude and stuff like that. I really do like 70s and 80s. Even some of the 80s shows like One Day at a Time and Alice and Three's Company and stuff like that. But as far as films go, I just don't like American comedy. So what comedy I do have is British, but I'm just not really a big comedy person. My whole collection is 97% maybe 97% horror, sci-fi, drama, and action. So I'm not really, but this is a rare one. Charlie Bartlett. I am still brokenhearted about that horrible incident with Anton, and it's just people die, drug overdoses, car wrecks, old age, whatever, but I don't know, man. His story, that getting crushed to death by your own truck when you're checking your mail, is just that's just beyond me. It's just terrible. So I do pick up a lot of his movies. I love him in The Green Room, and so I really wanted this because it's Anton and I want to be able to see him again. So I'm just very sad about his whole thing, that whole incident. But this is a horror movie, a little indie movie called The Last Horror Movie. It's pretty rare. I had to pay a little bit, I had to pay a little bit for this, but I managed to find it brand new. So yeah, The Last Horror Movie. It's supposed to be really good, and we shall see. Let's just put that stuff there. Someone had told me to check out the Man-Eater series, if you've ever heard of that. I was immediately put off though when they said something about sci-fi, like the Sci-Fi Channel, and I'm like, fuck that, man. And they're like, no, it was back when sci-fi was good, before they decided to become the WWF channel. I just don't get that. I don't get it at all. But they then, told me, go research it. The Sci-Fi didn't make them. They commissioned them from a production company. So I did. I went and I checked them out and kind of researched them. I know they're cheesy little, B movies and stuff like that, but I went and checked it out, and that is true. Sci-Fi did not make these. Sci-Fi did not make these. RHF or something like that, RLF. They made these, but they made them at the request of Sci-Fi, but Sci-Fi didn't make them. So they did their own stuff. And it's like, okay, whatever. So I managed to find a couple of these. These are very nicely packaged. They were brand new. It's only $10 is what I paid for them. But they got a nice slipcase. All of the movies are on their own disc. So no bad, low quality transfers of a bunch of movies packed onto one disc. So yeah, if you're interested, you can get these 3, triple features on eBay for $10, brand new. And yeah, so there's Croc and Sea Beast and Shark Swarm. And then I got another one. That's Swamp Devil, Eye of the Beast, and Black Swarm. So again, like I said, they were brand new. Nice slipcase. And all of the movies are on their own discs. So, no shitty transfers. I try to avoid those, Hi, get 6 movies on one DVD. Well, I know how much size is on a DVD. So for you to cram 6 movies onto a DVD, they have to be like, 500 megabytes? I mean, it's got to be like the shittiest transfers you could possibly get. It's just not worth it. Now, some of the Maneater series, it turns out it's cheaper to buy them singularly. So I also got this one, Rise of the Gargoyles. So yeah, so that ends up to be 7? So I figured that was enough for me to check out the quality of the pictures. I'm sure some of them are better than others. Door to the Other Side. I watched the trailer to this. It was pretty decent. Had me interested. The Door to the Other Side, or Door to the Other Side. It's a little supernatural movie. So, yeah. And what's this? Oh, another rare comedy. Okay. This is a comedy called High School. And it's got Adrian Brody in it. And the trailer looked really hilarious to me. So like I said, it's not like I hate comedy to the point of I would never watch comedy. I mean, I'm a smart ass, sarcastic, British type comedy. So I like comedy, but it's just not my thing. But High School looked absolutely hilarious, So I'm going to be checking that out. Now, this is a movie, I don't know if you've ever heard of it or not. It's called Testament. If you've ever heard of The Day After, when they made this movie called The Day After, it was a TV show. But I remember after seeing The Day After, I went running down the street of my neighborhood. I wasn't screaming or he needs to be taken away. But I had it stars Steve Guttenberg and stuff like that. I've got it. It's just fantastic. Now, during that same year, or right around the same time, they made this feature film called Testament. Testament is Jane Alexander and what's his name? Not Elijah Wood. Lucas Haas. Yeah. And it takes place, the day after showed you an atomic attack on the U.S. from a countrywide perspective. Whereas Testament is her husband goes away to work in San Francisco and they live way out in a suburb. like 50 miles away or something. And so they're out in the middle of, a small town, and it's her and her 3 kids. And unlike the day after, you don't get to see, the bombs and everything. There's just, she's talking on the phone with her husband in San Francisco. It cuts out. You see a big blinding light from the window, and that's it. So you get to see, sort of like the movie Jericho. Jericho is like the series Jericho is sort of like in between these two movies. This is small town, and basically you just get to see what happens to this town as radiation starts to come down. The kids get sick, and it's very sad. It makes me cry. It's a fantastic movie. So you've got the day after. I think if you watch the day after and Testament together, you'll probably like just stay in the bed for 3 days. But I really loved Testament. I was very glad. This was very expensive. It was hard to find. I thought I was going to have to order some Region 4 Australian DVD just to get it, but I did manage to find it. Brand new too. And so yeah, I'm glad to have that. Oh, now this is exciting. Well, for me anyway. One of the best, I'm not really big on TV series, but Britain came out, I think it's Channel 4 or ITV. I don't remember which one. But they came out with a series called Humans. This, I did not know that they had released this, so I about fainted when I saw it, because I've got all the files on a disc somewhere, but to actually have a physical release for it, I didn't know that. And this is season 1 of Humans. It is pretty much one of my favorite series of all time. It's like the 100, as far as my love for it. The Leftovers, the 100. Humans is just phenomenal about robots. All 3 of these right here are robots, and they gain sentience through a program that is released, because of course, like you would see today, if we had these, which is probably where we're going to end up sooner or later, if you had these kind of robotic helpers and all the stuff that people would do with robots, you're going to have those that are for it and those that are against it. Well, those that are against it come up with this program that makes them sentient, and so society has to deal with these robots wanting equality. And it's really good. It's really good. So that cost me out the ass. And then Humans 2.0, that's the 2nd season. There was 3 seasons, which is very upsetting because of the way it ends in the 3rd one. I do have the 3rd one, but it will be in January's update. These were both pretty reasonably priced. If you haven't seen this, you really should see if you can find it somewhere to watch it, because it is absolutely phenomenal. And the 3rd one, the 3rd season, oh god, yeah. Yeah, that's why I don't have very many this month. So now we're going to move on to Blurays, and we're going to move on to my upgrades. These are movies that I already had in my collection, DVDs that I like enough to want to get them on Blu-ray so that I can have both. And yeah. So we have V for Vendetta, which I absolutely love this movie. I'm sure most of you have heard of it. So yes, I upgraded that. Fast Times at Ridgemont High. See, I like comedy. But Fast Times at Ridgemont High is one of my favorite movies ever. And Valley Girl. And Pretty in Pink. And The Breakfast Club. And Heathers. And Jawbreaker. And just all of that shit is me. So, yeah, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I've got it on Blu-ray now. Upgraded my DVD of it. I just take the DVDs and put them in here. So, yeah. For my Tom Cruise collection, I upgraded the Mummy. I know. There's no reason to talk about it. Could have been so much better. Then again, if you people would stop fucking making everything PG-13, we'd have a lot better horror movies. That's all I'm saying. Alpha Dog and Assault on Precinct 13. I like both of those movies very much. And so, yeah. Replaced my DVDs with Alpha Dog and Assault on Precinct 13, the remake. Okay, I replaced 300 because that's just fantastic. I also like the sequel very much too. I've got it somewhere. It's in one of these updates. Bad Times at the El Royale. If you've never seen this, you have missed out. This is fantastic. If you saw me pause, it was because I started to say Fast Times at the El Royale. Bad Times at the El Royale. This is a phenomenal movie. It had me like guessing all over the place. I upgraded my DVD of The Reef, which I had in my first Shark Week. So yeah, upgraded that. I upgraded my Shallows to the 4K Blu-ray, but I did have it on DVD, so it's sitting there as well. The 4K Blu-ray was cheaper than the Blu-ray by itself. Go figure. Or it may have just been the seller that I got it from. And all of these are brand new. I only buy brand new. I will buy like new, and I will even buy very good. But it has to be because it's so rare, you can't get it any other way, or it's fucking outrageous. Like, I mean, seriously. If it's sitting here and it's brand new, and it says $30 and like new or very good, and there's nothing else in it like a digital code or anything, for $5.99, come on. It's not that important to take the shrink wrap off. But that's usually very rare. Pretty much everything I get is brand new because I want it to be fresh. You know what I mean? I want it to be as most probably not messed up by someone. But, so what is this? A Good Day to Die Hard. That was the 5th one that everybody hated. This is the unrated extended cut. It was okay. I don't care. I love this movie. Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. I like it. I like those stupid little spectacles. So, yes, I upgraded my DVD of Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. I thought it was very good. I liked it. I upgraded my DVD of The Boy. I really like this. No, I don't own that second one. I haven't got it. I wouldn't get it unless I watched it because I've heard so much bad stuff about it. So that's one of those I would have to watch before I bought it. I upgraded my DVD of Heredity. Heredity? What is Heredity? Heredity. Hereditary. I had the DVD, so I upgraded it to this Blu-ray DVD combo, which means that somebody's going to get the DVD I had when I give it away. And this is An American Werewolf in London. I had the DVD of it, but I wanted, and this is the restored edition. So I know that one of those boutiques, I know that they've got it somewhere for like $35 or $40. But according to Bluray.com, this is fantastic. This edition, it's called the Restored Edition, and you can get it for $10 to $15, or you can go and get, pay $35 to Severin or one of them assholes. You can do that, or you can get this one. So yeah, the Restored Edition of the Werewolf An American Werewolf in London. Yes, and that's all of my upgrades. So now we move on to first-time purchases. These are movies that they're either new or I never got around to getting them or forgot about them. I watch so many movies that stuff can like slip by me without me remembering to grab it, or put it on my wish list. And there's also a naughty little thing that eBay does. And that is that, like, if you put something on your wish list and, like, it gets sold, well, it'll stay on your wish list for a long time. But then as you add more stuff to it, everything kind of goes down, page. And eventually that's sold. Like, like if I put this on my wish list and it got bought before I bought it, it would stay on my wish list for a long time. It would just say no longer available or this item is out of stock or sold or something. But eventually it will be removed, period. The listing itself will be removed. And if I forget to buy something and it goes to page 2, 3, or 4, and finally the listing gets removed, I might forget the fucker existed. I might forget it altogether until something else reminds me. So that can happen as well. So these are first-time purchases of things that I did not have in my collection. We have Bodies, which I've already done a video on. You can go and watch that. Wow. Yes, that movie has some interesting. I'm not even going to talk about it. You just have to go see the video and you will know all about it. I bought Open Water and Open Water 2 Adrift. Kind of preparing for my next Shark Week. So I wanted Open Water and Open Water 2 Adrift, so I got them in a double feature. And then got Open Water 3 Cave Dive, which actually I'm going to use this to kick off a found footage week festival. Because I didn't know, but Open Water 3 is a found footage movie. So, I don't know, divers and their cameras and all. Maybe it'll be like The Shallows a little bit, those few scenes with the camera. We'll see. I haven't watched it yet, but yeah, Open Water 3, Cage Dive. I mean, might as well just have them all, yeah. So, of course, I already had Deep Blue Sea, but I went ahead and got Deep Blue Sea 2. Yeah. I heard it was terrible. We'll see. And Deep Blue 3C, which they say is Deep Blue CC. Deep Blue Sea 3. And people kind of say, the reviews say that this one's a little better. Of course, none of them is going to match it's one of those franchises where the first one is fantastic and then they make 5,000 more and they're not. Straight to video. I don't understand it, but whatever. So, Deep Blue Sea 3. A Shudder original that I just put on the floor. But a Shudder original, people know, or people around my channel know that I love collecting Shudder originals. This is The Boy Behind the Door. Got the Bluray of it. I really loved the trailer and it looked good. And I can always count on Shudder for two things. The movies are pretty good. Great even, and they are very, very good about releasing physical copies for collectors and for, they want to make money. And so no one's going to force me to go and purchase a subscription to a streaming service to see this. So had they not done this, they would get no money from me. So they seem to be smart enough to know that put our stuff out there. People will buy physical. All this lies about physical dying and shit. Propaganda. Okay? Propaganda. Plenty of people want to buy physical. So, yeah. Al Pacino and Carlito's Way with Sean Penn. Al Pacino, Sean Penn, Carlito's Way. So, yeah, I definitely wanted that from the action movies. Prince, Purple Rain. Now, I say this is new to my collection because I had the VHS. I have the VHS of this, so I didn't have the DVD. And of course, I haven't had a VHS player in 5,322 years, so the VHS didn't do me any good. But so it's kind of new to my collection in that I did not have the DVD, so now I have Purple Rain. Yes. Chucky Season 1. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of series that much, but on occasion, I did like the Chucky series. So I waited for the seasons to come out, and they did release the season. So, obviously, there it is. Chucky Season 1 on Blu-ray, just for me. The Northman. Very, very glad to have that. We are, of course, now into my higher priced, expensive new releases. So, yes, The Northman. Rave reviews. Dune. I'm kind of interested to see this. I want to see. I mean, I love the original. And I like the miniseries, Children of Dune, and all that William Hurt and Susan Sarandon and all them were in. I really like them. So I still don't think that you can make a Dune movie in just one movie. I think it has to be like a quadrilogy or something. Then why people try to do that. So maybe they'll make another one and continue the story. I don't know. I haven't seen this yet, but I heard a lot of people like it. So Dune. Blood Rage, an 80s slasher that I was very happy to get. This is Arrow, I guess. It's like I say, I hate those boutiques because of my opinion on those boutiques and what they do, but every once in a while one gets a decent release. I also think that Scream Factory and Arrow are two that I know of that have hooked up with Walmart. Not only have they hooked up with Walmart, but they've also hooked up with a couple of extremely huge major sellers on eBay. And I think they've hooked up with Amazon as well. But like Blow It Out of Here and Groove Entertainment, they are having Scream Factory and Arrow videos movies popping up. This was from Walmart online. So, maybe a couple of them are learning their lessons and making decent print runs and actually letting people see these wonderful classics. But yeah, so I'm very, very happy to have Blood Rage. Cheesy, 80 goodness, yes. And then, of course, Pearl, I got it. Second, it came out in December. So, at the beginning of December. Or the end of... It came in December in any event. So yes, we have Pearl. I bought Blood Rage and Pearl together. So. And finally, my most exciting, for me anyway, is I found The Dark Side of the Moon. Now, this is also a boutique. It's called Unearthed Films. And they have a, like Scream and IFC Midnight, they have Unearthed Classics. And so, yeah, this is Unearthed Films. I had to pay like damn near $30 for this. But it's one of those movies from my late teens that I just, really, really love. Unearthed Classics has released a new transfer, a wonderful collector's edition, Unearthed Classics. At least unlike Arrow and some of them, they may make you pay out the ass for it, but at least they got something cool with it. It has the slipcase, and it came with this really cool book. And look at this thing. It is so cute. But it is a book with all of the production notes, all kinds of stories about the making of it, the designs of it, You got all of these beautiful photos from the movie talking about each one of the cast members. And as you can see, it's not like a little... It's actually pretty long. What is that? Like 25 pages or something? 30 pages? So, I thought that was real cool. Who's that? You recognize that? Who's he? Come on now. Who's he? Can you see him? Who's he? He was Tyrell in Blade Runner. He's the one where he like squished his eyes in. Rutger Hauer squished his eyes in. So yeah, it's got a beautiful little book in it. I'm so glad to have this. I love The Dark Side of the Moon. It's kind of like Event Horizon. It's kind of like one of those. It's kind of that genre. Pandorium. So yeah. It's one of my rare, super expensive purchases. I think it was Blow It Out of Here. I think had it for like 26 bucks. So it was one of those that I bit the bullet on. You might could find it cheaper. That was just my ability to find stuff. I'm pretty good at finding stuff, but you might could find it cheaper. But yes, The Dark Side of the Moon from Unearthed Classics. And that does it. That is all of the stuff that I received in December. And I will see you in the next thing I do, which will be, I swear, I am going to do Wolf Week, where I'm going to do some of my favorite werewolf movies. And so yeah, I will see you then. Thank you very much for taking the time to look at my new stuff. And I will see you in the next thing. Always remember and never forget, you are a very, very, very special person, even when you have a bad hair day. But you are a very special person. Don't let anyone ever tell you differently. And I will see you in the next video. Hopefully, if I am not dead from the weather down here. Love you, miss you. Bye-bye.